I mean, that is it.
Brian and Andrew have finally located the perfect spot for their dream home with a view. And their partners in the project, Pete and Leslie, have given their cautious approval.
We're giving them a provisional go ahead, say, look, you know, on the face of it, on the photographs, we like the site.
But a month later, back in Coventry, Brian and Andrew still haven't managed to sell their house.
What don't you like?
The green, isn't it? The green, yeah.
Yes, well, it is called the Green Room.
And Douglas, the developer, is ready to pull out.
Facts are that things have not gone according to the timescale we've agreed.
No.
Chania, northwest Crete, where Brian and Andrew's inability to come up with the money is causing grave concern for Douglas at the head office of Cretan Traditional Homes.
Unfortunately, we've still not had any money from Brian and Andrew. They put their house on the market really later than they should have in relation to this project. We own the plot. We can't keep it forever. The essence of our business is cash, turnover of cash and the speed of turnover of cash. They're putting themselves under pressure in relation to work opportunities because they're not going to be here during the recruiting season. So it's all a bit difficult.
Brian and Andrew still haven't managed to pay for the land, and building is due to start in less than 6 weeks, so they're well and truly cornered.
I'm very well aware of that, Douglas. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could say, right, a cheque's bowling its way to you, but it isn't, because the house hasn't been sold yet. The house price is realistic. There's no question about it. In fact, whoever gets it's going to get a bargain. You are just giving me a bit of aggro here that I could do without. And
Brian is doing a spirited defence of our position at the moment, and we'll see how we go. So how was that then?
not good.
I was going to say it didn't sound too good.
I mean, the situation is getting to the point where we're going to have to really take some sort of drastic action. And I've got one idea which I don't know whether to talk to you about.
Go on, I'm listening.
There's two options. One isn't an option at all, which is to remortgage the house. We can't do that because we're selling it. It's on the market, it's up for sale. Well, the other is to speak to Les and Pete about the sale of their boat. That was going to be their input anyway. We asked them to bring the sale of their boat forward.
They're on holiday at the moment, they're on it.
We really are in a corner here, Andrew.
Well, I don't think that's...
Look, I know you're not very happy with it, I can tell, but give me some breaks here, Andrew.
All right, but I
No,
don't...
it makes me sound as though I'm bullying you into it. I'm not.
No, I just think you need to step back and just look at this. It's a very upsetting thing for them to be doing.
I know it is.
I mean, if you were there,
Don't
how would
make
you
me
feel?
have to be the
well,
ogre.
no, but I think you just need to be a bit more sensitive about asking them. I mean, you're going to be bad enough when we actually finally move out of here. So think what they're going to be like with the boat.
It's a very sensitive subject, I know, but I think we give it a tug.
All right, all right.
Les and Pete are currently enjoying a holiday with friends out on the Coventry Canal, so they're actually within striking distance of Brian and Andrew. Brian has called and offered to buy them a slap-up lunch at a nearby posh hotel, but he hasn't told them why.
This is the first time in all the years I've known Brian that we've got together in a formal spot, almost as though he's setting up neutral territory. So give us some bad news.
He doesn't want us to make too much of a fuss in public.
As usual, Brian arrives fashionably late. He's had a sleepless night worrying about how they'll react to his proposal, but ever the showman, he puts on a brave face for the camera.
So Brian, are you feeling confident about this?
I am. I actually really believe that once we've talked it through, he's going to be happy, Les will be happy. It's the logical thing to do. Well, we've no alternative. I've known them for years, and I think they'll be okay. I really do.
I don't think it's as foregone conclusion as you think. I think we've got a little battle on our hands.
Well, they're in there because I've seen his head.
I know, I've seen the car, so...
Yeah.
Good luck.
Let's see how it goes, shall we?
The lunch is lavish, but Pete and Les can't really enjoy it until they know why they're here.
Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Cut the small talk, Brian. What are we doing here?
Well, before we actually get on to that, I'm going to ask you both a question. Are you still 100% committed to the project in Crete?
Yeah.
At the moment, yeah.
At the moment, yeah, absolutely.
Douglas is pressing for the money to buy the land. We don't have it. And we wondered whether, well, I wondered whether you would come across with your contribution of the project at the beginning rather than at the end.
But how are we going to raise that sort of, you know?
Well, you did say that you were going to sell the boat.
Well, yeah, we are, but
When
we're
do you
not
need
gonna-
this money?
When do you need the money?
A couple of weeks.
Good
Oh,
God,
God,
Brian, it's
really?
going to take us 3 weeks to get back to our moorings. How are we going to sell the boat? We've got somebody on it that's having a fortnight's holiday with us.
All I'm suggesting to you is, rather than you getting fiery with me, is that the roles are slightly reversed, because we can't sell a £300,000 house just like that, whereas perhaps your boat will sell a lot quicker. Now, I'm not being presumptuous there, I'm just throwing it open to the group and talking as we always do, and we are in trouble.
I mean, we didn't intend selling it until after the new year.
I know. But,
You know, that's...
And it's not a good time to sell the boat.
I don't think that's possible. I don't believe, you know, I really think that's a blooming nerve.
The lunch having come to an awkward end, Pete and Les are left shell-shocked by Brian's cheek.
And I'm just speechless that he's come up with this now, without any warning whatsoever.
I'm not speechless, I'm bloody mad, because I think he's got a nerve asking us, you know, again, outright, at a brief meeting, and the first thing that he came out with, you know, are you committed to the project? Almost as though anything we said after that was going to be say, oh, well, you're going to let the project down. I only hope we can, for the sake of our relationship and friendship, find a way round this.
As Brian and Andrew head towards financial crisis, designers at Solar Glass are still hard at work on the giant motorised picture window that Brian has ordered for the house in Crete.
Yeah, it's going well. We've got all our drawings and details ready for approval. I've sent them off to Brian, and it's a case of taking them to Crete on his next visit, okaying them with the architect, okaying them with the contractor. Yeah, we're full steam ahead.
3 weeks on, and while Brian is avoiding calls from Solar Glass, Douglas or anyone else who might be asking for money, Pete and Les have arrived back at their moorings at Slimbridge, Gloucestershire. And although he doesn't know it yet, this is going to be Brian's lucky day.
Oh, do you?
Andy, the lock keeper, is looking for a narrow boat to live on. And when he heard that Pete and Les's boat was up for sale, he offered to do a deal with Pete there and then.
Right. Welcome aboard.
Well, thanks, Pete. Will you be leaving a few things
We're
on here?
leaving
or-
everything, apart from the picture on the wall up there, which is of Leslie's dad, microwave,
Fridge,
All right.
yeah,
oven, the lot.
and all the guidebooks. So happy boating.
Excellent.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so will the dog.
And the thing is, the boat's quite well known on the system, so you'll probably get for a little while people shout out and expecting to find us on it.
They probably think you've passed on. Or...
Yeah, whoa. No, I've still got years in me yet.
We hope.
We hope. Brian is absolutely lucky, because I thought it was going to take us months to sell it, and to actually come up with a buyer, you know, that's so close to where the boat is, actually wants to buy it to live on. I never anticipated things happening that fast. Now they've got to get this house sold pretty damn smartish. You all right?
The first instalment will be bowling its way to you in the next 4 days.
Excellent, good news. You must be pleased that you've sold the house now. And
We haven't entirely sold the house. We're on a commitment from people, but the financials... Yeah, it's okay, don't panic, it's all right. You've got what you wanted, which is actually the first instalment.
that's good news, but what about the overall project? Because the deposit actually secures the land. but we've got to build your house. Selling the house is the key, isn't it?
It always was.
It's a great relief for Brian to be able to give Douglas the good news. But with only 3 weeks to go before building is due to start, they already owe Douglas the next instalment. Brian must give the impression that the house is close to selling, or Douglas may pull his builders off the project.
I'm bluffing with him, you know. I feel a bit guilty. But you can't just sell a house like this in 3 weeks. It takes time to sell. There is a ticking clock, and I don't actually think we're going to meet it. I think the alarm's going to go off.
Brian and Andrew still haven't sold their house in Coventry, and Pete and Leslie have had to sell their canal boat to pay for the plot on which they're going to build the house in Crete. They're all due to travel over there next week to watch building commence, but another £35,000 is owed to Douglas, the developer, before he will start work.
The pressure we're getting from Douglas, that is real pressure.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk to him, but I don't know what options there are.
Phone Douglas. Don't delay it. You know, phone him now while we're all still here. And grovel.
Calm yourself down.
Yeah. I'm going to say have another fag.
Got enough of these to go
Yeah, we've
out.
got enough packets there.
Up here. 3498.
Hello, Douglas. It's Brian, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, okay. Yes, not too bad. Now, we've got a bit of a problem. We haven't actually sold the house. The agent has got 2 people, one of whom are very interested, but in order for us to start building, we really need some goodwill here. I know I'm pushing it, but well,
You know, we're now getting short of time.
I appreciate that.
No, the facts are that things have not gone according to the timetable we've agreed. You know, we can't ask the building contractor to start without payment.
What solution?
What do you suggest?
I don't honestly know, Douglas.
I suppose we've really got. Yes, we could. We've not done this before, but we could fund the initial payments to the building contractor on your behalf.
Right.
You know, if we are talking 6 weeks to the sale, we would do that.
So, to Brian's immense relief, Douglas agrees to sub the initial cost of building works until the house sale goes through.
20 minutes ago, we dreaded making the call to you, but thank you very much indeed for helping us. I really appreciate that. Thanks very much. Take care now. Bye. Bye-bye. Yes! We're on our way.
Yes, we are indeed. Next stop, Crete.
Next stop, Crete.
It's early November, and by the seat of their pants and the developer's good grace, Brian and the team arrive in Crete to see building commence on their house.
Nice bathroom.
They've travelled through the night, so Pete and Les are grabbing a couple of hours kip. But Brian and Andrew are ready for a stiff breakfast.
Do you want a large one or a small one?
Small. Let's not get too fiddle first.
That's a tiny one.
Cheers.
Successful week.
Suitably refreshed, one way or another, they head for the plot. And for Pete and Les, this will be the first time they see what their money has bought.
Here we are. They're just going to work when
Down there.
down there. Can you imagine getting up and seeing that every morning, Brian?
I can.
Good morning.
Michaelis, the architect, is there to greet them, and he's brought the finished plans for the house exterior. The upstairs looks fine, but Pete and Leslie are horrified to see what's proposed for the downstairs. Their main view and doorway is largely blocked by the sweeping staircase coming down from Brian and Andrew's magnificent balcony.
I don't like those stairs where they are. Not only does it cut off your view, it cuts your light off as well. It's going to make that end very dark.
Yeah, perhaps if the door changed,
Yes.
then you wouldn't be coming out underneath the stairs.
Right.
Could we just take 5 minutes just to go and have a little, you know, a little think about it and look and take it in? Because what I don't want to do is to look at everything from the top.
No.
And suddenly find that
You've got a car bunker right in front of you.
and that underneath is being compromised.
Yeah, I see that.
Pete and Leslie are justifiably unhappy about the layout, but Brian and Andrew had approved the draft and Michaelis is reluctant to start changing things on the first day of construction.
They keep trying changing the plans, but anyway, if we start touching everything now, maybe we are going to lose also the nice aspect of the house and everything. It's very important.
But understandably, Pete and Les are dismayed by the way things have turned out for them. So in the end, Michaelis comes up with a relatively simple suggestion.
Okay, final plan.
His idea is simply to flip the design, so that the window and balcony switch sides and the staircase now comes down in front of the blank wall.
Right. So that's
Good solution.
Good. I always find that solution. I'm very modest about that.
The next job is critical. Michaelis needs to mark out the size and position of where the house will stand. And keen to keep the team from brooding over anything else, Michaelis wisely decides to engage them fully in the process.
Keep it high. Okay. No, okay. Ryan, try not to kill yourself over there.
I'm all right.
No, stay over there.
stay there, right?
And after a few tangles, the team can see exactly where the house will stand.
Well, there's an olive tree right in the middle of the lounge, or the garage. And I've actually got something stuck in my foot here. It's right in the middle of the plot.
Eh?
That tree behind you, has it got to go?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to watch it being cut down.
Leslie, I'm really sorry that we are going to lose this.
Going to lose an old
We
friend.
have possibilities to kill it. We can kill it by bombs, we can kill it by shooting it. We can choose what you want.
Just do it kindly.
Could we leave it as a feature?
I never expected to see the tree taken down today, I must admit.
I'm quite surprised how quick things have moved. You know, I expected to be a bit of Mediterranean procrastination, but quite frankly, I'm quite relieved really that they're getting on with the job.
As Brian and Andrew are going to move out here, then the top floor at the moment is the most important thing, you know.
It has made, if you like, downstairs and upstairs a different priority. But what we've now got to perhaps do is to concentrate more on downstairs to make sure that that goes ahead at the same pace and doesn't get sort of shelved as being something that can happen, whenever.
Whenever, yeah.
A good day's work sees the plot measured up and cleared, ready for the builders to begin. The following day, and the team are heading for a rendezvous with Douglas at a bathroom and tile shop. They're here to choose the bathroom fittings for their new house, but Douglas's ulterior motive is to keep them away from the plot in case they decide to meddle with the plans again.
The purpose of our visit is for you to choose the tiles for your house, choose your bathroom fitments.
So can we choose anything, or?
Within your building quote there is a standard price. If you want something more exotic, we just give you the cost of the price difference between standard and...
Brilliant.
But he's reckoned without the growing resentment between upstairs and downstairs.
I don't like that. I don't think that's in keeping.
Don't like the gloss on there.
Now, what would you say if I said I like that?
I'd say horrible. To put my 10 pence in, it would definitely be between that tile and that. Yeah. But I'd go with Andrew on that.
It's a warm colour,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's going to look really boring if it's just one.
Douglas can now see what Michaelis had to put up with the day before.
Are you happy with that one in the ensuite, or do you want that one in the ensuite? Because you've got 2 rooms.
Brian decides to take control when it comes to choosing the bathroom suites, and as usual, his taste is not cheap.
It's a toilet seat.
I know it's a toilet seat, it's just a bit flimsy, that's all.
But if you want to choose a different another unit in the shop, you'll have to go around trying all the toilets.
Now that one.
Remember, it's not plumbed.
No, that's it. I could live with that.
So is that more, or is it in the budget?
That's quite a big difference, isn't it? Can we afford it?
The costs look like spiralling, and Pete and Les again become upset with the potential inequality of the upstairs-downstairs arrangements. In fact, Pete becomes so upset that he's started to suffer from heart palpitations, and they decide it's time to take a stand against Brian's bombastic, one-sided attitude.
What about that sink in the window? I rather like that. And you'll need a matching sink, won't we?
Brian, you live in a fantasy world half the time.
You know, we've got the bond that's going to cost us another 200 quid.
£200.
How much is that sink?
That's only, it's only 900.
And I bet that doesn't include all the
We've spent the last
fancy
2
bits.
nights trying to trim the budget back a bit, and now you want to spend 900 on a sink and an extra 200 on the toilet.
Well, hold on a second, Liz.
Pardon?
Hold on a minute. We're just sort of toying with some ideas. I mean,
Yeah, but these ideas cost money.
We've got a budget that includes downstairs as well as upstairs,
that's right, we have.
you know, and at the moment there's no consideration going into what's downstairs. All I can see is the budget getting lost on everything for upstairs.
It's the whole feel of it. I'm sorry, where has Les gone? I mean, I don't want to fall out over this. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we can have a porta potty or a bucket and chuck it, if it's going to cause that much of a problem. I mean,
Douglas wisely decides to depart and leave them to it.
look, it doesn't matter all that much, Les. It doesn't, don't get uptight about it. It doesn't matter. It's just that we tried to get it right.
It just seems all the time it's upstairs, 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 upstairs.
No, that isn't true. We're not just talking about upstairs. Your place downstairs is an integral part of this. The money that we've all put in has to include downstairs. I never thought any differently. As far as that £900 sink, it was just a throw. I didn't think you'd take it seriously. So, forgiven?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I can't stay angry with you for long anyway.
No, you can't, bless you. Come on, let's go and find the rest.
So, for the moment at least, the tension has eased.
Sorted.
And in the next programme, they begin to experience what it's like to be in Crete off-season. And as Brian and Andrew begin to do battle with the language
Tea, yes.
Tea, yes.
What do you know?
and look for jobs,
I can cook.
You can cook?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a rocket.
Pete and Leslie investigate the island's culture, or at least the source of the local firewater, otherwise known as raki.
Yeah, man.
But back at the plot, it seems work cannot begin until another local tradition is observed.
Who is going to kill it?
I want no party to it at all.